Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. Beautiful friends, we're looking today at what is going on in your connection, what's happening. And interestingly, these videos never get the most hits, but when I'm not posting, this is the most requested video. So I think my loyal subscribers, this one's for you because I know you love this one. When I do this reading, we look at the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies, and then we see how they're connecting. So take your time choosing a pile. I've got 3 for you today. The first one is the Chakra Wisdom Tarot with Lapis Lazuli. The middle one is the lovely Omens Tarot with Hexagon Clear Quartz. And the final third pile is the Light Seers Tarot with a piece of Apatite. All beautiful cards, all beautiful stones. You can look at the timestamps to help you choose. Pause the video and douse over them if you like. Or just, go to whatever one calls to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And make sure you make a note in the piles of which one you've picked because they're all timeless readings. So there could be another pile that's good for you later. Okay, pile 1. Let's do this. The Chakra Wisdom Tarot. We're going to be using the illest tarot for the divine masculine energies. So we look at the divine feminine energies on the left, the divine masculine energies on the right, and connecting energies down the center, which actually means I need a third deck. I always forget this. Okay, I'll grab another one in a sec. I will refer to the divine feminine as she and the divine masculine as he. It's just easier for me to use those gender pronouns while I'm channeling, and also to make sure that you can discern between, which party I'm talking about. But these readings aren't gender specific. The roles can be reversed. So you may resonate as the viewer with the cards on, the divine masculine side, or vice versa. And it could be he, she, he, she. So please just adjust the gender pronouns as you see fit. I can't cater for everybody when I'm doing these readings, but just for the sake of ease, I will refer to the divine feminine as she, masculine as he. Okay, so, and we're going to look at what the current energies for each of the individuals and then the connecting energies. We're going to look at how each party is thinking and feeling, and also what's shifting for them. I will be doing an extended reading for this one, so we'll be going a little bit deeper in the extended reading if this one resonates for you. But I'm going to choose one of these cards first, just as like a signifier for each of the counterparts. As I said, divine feminine on the left, divine masculine on the right, and this is the divine feminine and masculine reunited deck. If you're interested in what decks I use, I do list them all in the description box below. Okay, let's do this. Divine feminine, we have openness. And for our divine masculine, we have inner child. So that's a number 2 and a number 3. And I'm going to get one for the connecting energies as well. And we have Sekhmet, number 6, Goddess of Rage. Oh, sorry, just drag the camera. Okay, so let's pull cards for our divine feminine. What's she... energies, what are the current energies, the divine feminine? We've got the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Swords in reverse, and the 4 of Cups in reverse. How's she thinking and feeling? We've got the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Coins or Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is interesting. What's shifting for our divine feminine? We've got the Lovers, the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. Powerful. Okay, for our divine masculine. This is the illest tarot. It features 90s icons, and since I'm a child of the 90s, this is one of my favourite decks. It's very cool. A lot of my decks are created by independent creators and artists rather than the kind of big publishing houses. But I always list the names of them, and a quick Google search will always reveal where you can buy them from. I'm pretty sure these ones are still available. They're very cool, if you're a collector especially. Okay, divine masculine, what's the energies? 3 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Wands, King of Wands in reverse. How's he thinking and feeling? I don't know her in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Page of Pentacles in reverse. That's very interesting. This came out in the same position for the feminine. This is a standoff here. Massive standoff. Okay, what's shifting? Justice. Five of Cups. And the Death card. These are big energies, you guys. Right, I need a third deck for the connecting energies. I believe I have one to hand. There we go. This is a Dragon Tarot. It was a gift I received recently from Mandy. Thank you so much, Mandy. I've not used it in one of my video readings yet, but I have flipped through it. They're quite beautiful. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Just dropped the box. Okay. What are the connecting energies to these? So I'm just going to check the camera angle in a minute to make sure that all these cards are in shot, because I'm taking up quite a lot of room with this kind of reading. Right, so we want 3 for down the centre. Connecting energies are 8 of Swords in reverse. The Emperor for thoughts and feelings. And the Wheel of Fortune for what's shifting. Okay, let's check you can see them all just about. I'm just going to shift it down slightly. That's better. You can see them all now. Right, so our Divine Feminine, I have to say, the first thing that stands out for me here about all of these cards is that there's been some kind of standoff and there's a lot of pride in the way here. The connecting energy is the goddess of rage, and we have the lioness and lion at the top here and goddess Sekhmet. But it's also the number 6, which is the number of unconditional love. It's the number of the lovers in tarot, but it's also the number that the devil, being number 15, reduces to in tarot. So it can represent unconditional love and conditional love, and love in all of its guises. But our Divine Feminine is in this openness energy, this number 2. And what's really interesting about this card, it came out in one of my readings yesterday, is that these people are open, they're holding hands, but they also have their backs to us. And they're looking towards the light. They have their backs to the shadows. So I feel like, you know, this couple have made massive leaps and strides recently, but there has been some kind of standoff that has forced them to reflect on how they communicate and find new ways of being. The Divine Feminine, I feel, has very much led this, and I'm getting so much pride, but not pride within you, but pride for you from Spirit for this Divine Feminine, because I feel like you've worked really hard and you've been through a process of having achieved this beautiful state of surrender, feeling so much better about yourself and life, and just really having moved through that healing process. You know, your current energies are very powerful here. We've got the 3 of Wands, followed by the 3 of Swords in reverse and the 4 of Cups in reverse. And, you know, the 3 of Wands is really about fulfillment, but 3s represent Divine Feminine energy as well. And let me show you this card. It's such a powerful feminine symbol because it's about fulfillment, the 3 of Wands. Like having worked hard and now you're just waiting for your ships to come in. You know, it's kind of having sowed the seeds and now you're reaping the rewards with your bountiful harvest. And this Divine Feminine, just, you know, she looks so powerful. This is a yellow card. Obviously, this is a Chakra Wisdom Tarot. And so this is all about the solar plexus as well, our main power center. And it really feels like, you know, this Divine Feminine has really connected with the truth of who she is, with her own divinity, with her own power. With the 3 of Swords in reverse here, this tells us that she has released so much pain. She's been going through so much healing. And with the 4 of Cups in reverse, she's ready to come out of her shell. You know, this is someone who was missing opportunities because she was so wrapped up in her own pain and grief, and she's living again. She is now open, she's ready, and it just feels like such powerful energy. I'm getting such pride and just genuine, sincere appreciation for you from Spirit, for how hard you've worked to get to this place. But it hasn't been an easy one battle, is what I'm hearing. And we see here our Divine Masculine is in this inner child energy. And look at those children in the background, reaching out to hold one another, whereas the adults, they're still pretty pissed off, aren't they? They have their backs to each other. And this is what I mean by this hard-won battle, because actually I feel for this divine feminine, she's not seen this energy actually come to play in the 3D yet. But she is feeling it within her. It's like she's facing the light. She's holding her counterpart's hand and she's turned him towards the light, his higher self at least. This is massive progress. But in reality, in their 3D reality, I feel there's been a lot of conflict. And I say about pride, Spirit has so much pride for you, but actually pride is such an important word coming through this reading, especially with this card here. Goddess Sekhmet, the lion and the lioness, goddess of rage. Both of you have been angry, and I feel like there has been some kind of standoff. We see our divine masculine is in the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. He doesn't want to collaborate. He doesn't want to, his 3D self is very uncooperative. And with the King of Wands in reverse, he's not in his power. And yet he's got a lot of fire in his belly at the moment. This is a really angry man. But the 8 of Wands here, upright, shows us that there is so much dramatic change, powerful spiritual change. This isn't just a new beginning. For the connection, it's a new beginning for both counterparts, but especially for our divine masculine, who it feels like is literally being prodded out of his shell by all of the high drama and tension that's existed in your connection. I feel this would have taken the divine feminine by surprise. It's like she suddenly found her voice, and I don't feel like she's been mean, but she's set firm boundaries and she's pushed back, and it has created some kind of conflict. I'm hearing divine feminine as well, that you must not berate yourself for this, because I'm hearing that there's a lot of should have, could have, wish I had have, and you've got to trust that everything was it's meant to be. You're feeling like a lot of the outbursts that you experienced during the conversations with your divine masculine weren't of the light. You're feeling like ego got in your way, and there was pride there. Pride did kind of rear up and show its head here, but it came from the right place. It came from a place of love, and you don't need to beat yourself up for how this conversation's gone. It had to happen because your divine masculine, this inner child pain, I feel like he just hasn't grown up beyond a certain age. He's not learned how to communicate like a mature person. And this has been very challenging for you. But actually the energy that you've brought to the table has forced him to step up. He's still feeling really annoyed about it. But you mustn't underestimate the powerful and dramatic shift and change that this has created in your connection. With the 8 of Swords in reverse here, we see a tremendous release of anxiety and a release of old beliefs. This is a letting go of what they thought was and embracing a new way of thinking. And that's really powerful. And it has been born of this rage. And remember, even though this is Sekhmet, goddess of rage, she embodies the number 6, that number of love, both conditional and unconditional. And what I love about this image is it reminds us, lions represent strength. But what we're shown here is that masculine and feminine counterpart working together. That's what brings the real strength. That's perfect harmony and balance. And right now you're grounding this connection. That's why there's so much red in this card. Her head is glowing red. Her dress is red. And look at all the yellow in there that coincides with all of this activity in the divine feminine solar plexus. You are grounding this connection right now. You are making it real because your counterpart has had to listen. And that's as a result of that fierce approach that you brought to the table, which you've been beating yourself up for, but you can let that go. You don't need to worry about it. Everything is as it's meant to be. In terms of how you're feeling and thinking about one another, divine feminine, your defenses are up somewhat. And with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse, which remember appears for your masculine, this is someone who's refusing to apologize. So even though you've been beating yourself up, you've been doubting yourself and questioning whether or not, you've been too fierce and too harsh, there is a blockage of pride in the way that's actually stopping you from cooling down this situation now. It feels like both of you are still smarting after some kind of disagreement. With the 7 of Wands, your defenses are up. With the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, you're not wanting to invest in this connection. You're feeling like, I'm in my power now. I don't need you. I'm ready to move forward, and I can do that without you. I don't need you to be happy. And so you're refusing to apologize. Now, what's super interesting about this is that our divine masculine is virtually in the same energy, and the connecting energy here is the Emperor. This is about control. Yeah, both of you are still trying to get control. And divine feminine, you needed to watch this video today because you really have moved past this. And this most recent trigger, this rage that's come up within you, which was very much divinely guided, it needed to happen. It's presented so that you can learn through these energies. You really need to take yourself into that meditative space and start thinking it through from that much higher perspective, which you already know how to tap into. So it's meant to be like this. There's no shame here. You know, there's no kicking yourself for having made a mistake that you thought you wouldn't make again. It wasn't a mistake. This was very purposeful. You had to go through this anger. You had to express it and release it. And both of you have to learn from it. But right now, this standoff, this stubborn energy of, well, you know, it shouldn't be me that apologizes. You're both in that energy. You know, he's got this I don't know her energy. And this is such an interesting card. It's unique to this deck. It's Mariah Carey, in case you didn't recognize her. And you can see there's this infinity symbol, number 8, across the top. Now, the story behind this card is something to do with an interview that Mariah Carey gave. And she was asked in that interview about a dispute she'd had with another celebrity. And she showed real strength and compassion. Her response was, when asked about the disagreement, I don't know her. Yeah, she was being really dignified about it. She just pretended like she didn't even know that person, that disagreement didn't exist. She wasn't going to be drawn into some public spat. So this card really represents strength for me, especially because of that infinity symbol, dignity. But what's really interesting about this is that for your divine masculine, it's reversed. And what I'm getting really strongly, I know it made me chuckle because this will please you if you're the divine feminine watching, but you know, he really wants to let this go. He is so fuming with you right now. You've really dented his pride. You have managed somehow with your words to poke a finger deep, 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 deep down and press on that inner child wound. And that's the one that needed to be triggered, is what I'm hearing. It needed to be triggered. This is why he's in this energy. This is why his perspective is shifting. It had to be triggered. But it has put him in this very petulant energy of, you know, I'm just going to pretend I don't even know her. I'm just going to ignore her. You know, people think that the opposite of love is hate. It's not. It's being ignored. And he's in this really petulant, indignant energy. But what's really funny about this is that in reality, you know, that infinity number 8 is there to remind us and him that this is an eternal connection. And he can try and ignore you as much as he wants. He can't run away or unknow any more than you can. And I'm hearing that his heart space has been broken open as a result. But with this hermit energy in reverse, he is so stubborn right now. I feel like this guy, he knows he's a divine counterpart. He knows he's on this journey of ascension and he's steadfastly refusing to face it. But look at this. As I said, you know, with your energy, with the communication that you've brought forward, you have actually turned things. And it, as I said, it may not be transpiring in the 3D right now, but in the 5D, this guy is facing the light. Okay, there's a new level of openness because actually what you've done is for the first time you've been authentic. You know, you've shown him that you're not an angelic, higher ascended being. You are a human being and you're not infallible either. You have rage in you just like every other human. And I feel like you've not been able to show him those parts of yourself. You know, you've just come at him with so much unconditional love that now he's seeing these real human behaviors. It's actually brought you down to his level a bit and helped him relate again. You know, he's gone from thinking, oh, you're my angel, you're this perfect earth angel, to realizing you're human too. You've got rage in you too. And actually right now you've got something to say about all this crap that he's been putting you through. So it is a big step. And as I said, you've also got to learn from this. You've got to see, A, how it serves you in a literal sense, and B, what you're meant to be taking from it. But right now you're both in this energy of trying to be in control, you know, of trying to save face, keep your mask intact, not be authentic, not be the one to let their guard down or offer the olive branch. It's a very stubborn energy. What's powerful here is what's shifting. Divine Feminine, you've got the Lovers straight out the bat. This is the third eye energy, which shows up for you a lot here, and you've got a lot of heart space energy as well. And I feel like, once more, you're going to take this connection back to where you know where your power is, which is in the 5D. It's in your wholeness and your inner peace and divinity and connection to spirit that you really find that balance, trust, knowing and intuition, and bring this connection back on track. And you know that. And I do feel like actually for you, I don't feel like you will be reaching out to communicate. I feel like this time you're like, no, I've done enough. I've done enough. This is a brand new beginning. Things are going to look different this time. And again, you're grounding that brand new beginning now. You are grounding this new truth. Okay, that no one's in control here. It feels like you've let this person be in control. You've just followed their lead. If they communicated, you communicated. If they didn't, you didn't. You had no expectations, no boundaries, no demands. And that's what this journey teaches us. But it also meant that the connection was out of balance. There was no reciprocity. And with no reciprocity, there can't be harmony and balance. So you're taking your power back and you're grounding this new beginning, and you're very happy to do it on your own, in union with self. It feels like you finally released this connection. That surge of rage that was brought forward by Goddess Sekhmet has helped you ground this beautiful new knowing, and it's actually opened your Divine Masculine up now to really start his healing journey and to start doing the work he needs to do on his own. And we see that happening. Look at this. We've got the Justice card for him. We've got the 5 of Cups, and then we've got death, transformation. So with the connecting energy here being the Wheel of Fortune as well, everything has come full circle now. This is a really powerful new beginning for you guys. This guy is now going to face his karma. There is going to be a period of what I believe to be a dark night of the soul, and I'm hearing for many of them it's a return to that. It's them coming back to that dark night energy and seeing it now for the final time because they're ready to rise. This is Scorpio energy. Scorpio rises from the ashes like a phoenix, and the Death card is all about that beautiful transformation and rebirth. So have no doubt whatsoever that even though you may be facing the most kind of brutal separation you've had with your person in a while, and I'm hearing you've probably not had crosswords before, and you're having these fleeting moments of doubt, but actually you are on the right track, because what needed to be said has been said, it's been heard, and change has occurred as a result. And this guy is definitely facing his inner child wounds. So I'm going to take this over to the extended. We're going to take a deeper look at how each party is thinking and feeling, what their intentions are, and get some deeper guidance for you in terms of how to move forward. So if you resonated with this, you can find the link for that in the comments below and in the description box. If you don't join me at the extended, thank you so much for tuning in anyway. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, because it does really help my channel to grow, and I appreciate that so much. And if you would like to see more fabulous content like this, hit the subscribe button, tap the little bell icon, and you will get an update every time I post. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, part 2. Let's do this. Okay, you chose the lovely Omens Tarot. We'll be using these for the Divine Feminine energies, which will go on the left, and we'll be using the Illest Tarot for the Divine Masculine energies, which will go on the right, and finally the Dragon Tarot, a gift from Mandy. Thank you very much, Mandy. They will be going down the center as the connecting energies. So today we're going to be looking at the energies that each of you is in, how you're thinking and feeling about one another, and what's shifting in your connection, as well as the connecting energies for all of those things. So I will be referring to the Divine Feminine as a she and the Divine Masculine as a he, but please adjust the gender pronouns as you see fit. It's not gender specific. It could be he, she, he, she, whatever works for you. I'm just going to use the she and he just for my ease while I'm channeling. It's just easier for me to remember. Okay, so Divine Feminine, the significator here for you is the Goddess of Wisdom, Athena, number 4 for the Divine Masculine. We've got Physical Ailment, number 7. And the connecting energy, Osiris, God of Transformation, number 3. It's powerful. Okay, let's get cards out for the Divine Feminine first. This is a beautiful deck. This is a lovely Omens tarot. A lot of my decks are independently created, so they're a bit harder to get hold of, but most of the creators do sell them directly. If you do a quick Google search, you will find them. This one that we're using is also an independently created deck. It's called the Illest Tarot. It's 90s icons. I love it. Okay, Divine Feminine, what energy is she in? The Seven of Swords in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. And the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. How's she thinking and feeling about her counterpart? The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Wands in reverse. Interesting. What's shifting for the Divine Feminine? The Nine of Cups in reverse. The King of Pentacles in reverse. And the Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, let's get some cards out for the masculine. Oh. Okay, Three of Cups in reverse, Two of Cups in reverse, the Six of Cups. How's he thinking and feeling? The Hierophant, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. What's shifting for the Divine Masculine? The King of Pentacles, Temperance in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse. Oh, these are really uncomfortable energies, you guys. We need to dig deeper into what's going on here, but yeah, it feels really uncomfortable. On edge is the energy. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Neither one knows what to do. The High Priestess. And the Ten of Wands. Goodness me. Right, let me just check these are all in shot because I want to make sure you can see them all. Let me just pop it down a touch. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, these energies are really on edge, and no wonder when we look at the connecting energy for both of you, which is Osiris, god of transformation. And I'm going to bring this card up to show you because I'm really drawn to this bird coming into land surrounded by light, this puff of light, and this person that's been bound and trapped looking up to receive this light. God of Osiris, transformation. So God Osiris, the god of transformation. And of course, number 3 is the number of creation, manifestation, something new being brought into being, but it's come from a place of will and desire. This is a desire for change. Now, the Divine Feminine is in Athena energy, the goddess of wisdom. Now, beg your pardon, remembering that birds are messengers of spirit, and we've seen this one coming in with Osiris. We can see here the owl, which of course represents wisdom, coming in here as well. And Athena, looking very pensive, very still, ready to receive this knowledge and wisdom. And I just feel like there's been a tremendous shift here, a huge, huge shift for the Divine Feminine, especially. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, she is in the energy of having become aware of some truth. And this is some truth about herself. It's like she's finally realised how she's been deceiving herself, how she's been blocking her own knowing, her own intuition, how she's failed to trust herself. And all of that has just melted away. And she's just feeling that much more empowered. But she's also very unsettled. And the reason I say on edge, I just feel like she's unsure now of what to do. Because having realised all of this stuff, it's kind of dented her faith in actual union or her counterpart somewhat. She's now looking at this other person and she's thinking, I don't know if I really believe in that anymore. You know, I've gone through this powerful transformation and I'm receiving all of this understanding and wisdom, and I don't know what I believe anymore. So there's this energy of doubt, of being on edge, of not being sure what to do. And I really feel like the divine masculine is feeling this. This is hurting him. And he's probably feeling it physically. He could be suffering from all kinds of aches and pains and unwellness because his heart space is blocked. He manifests all of his pain, all of his hurt in his physical body. And often when we clear people in spirit release therapy, this is often the case. Physical ailments can suddenly disappear when the emotional and spiritual blockages are released. So I really feel like there's been a tremendous build-up within him. And 7 is a divine number. And exactly as I say this, it's 717 on the clock in terms of the time of this video that I'm recording. So physical ailment, he's feeling it. He's really feeling the burden of this situation, of this connection and the pain it brings him. We've got the 3 of Cups in reverse and the 2 of Cups in reverse. He's also feeling disillusioned. He's also feeling like there's so much water under the bridge between you that this can never be. However, with this 6 of Cups, he does know that this is a soul connection. You know, he is in that energy. This transformation, something has occurred that has made him believe, which is so ironic because you're in this energy of suddenly almost letting go and thinking, I don't know if I do believe in this anymore. I don't know if I believe in him anymore. And I don't know if I want this. So these are very unsettled energies for both of you. And the connecting energy here, being the Knight of Pentacles, is that energy of not knowing what to do. Not even being able to plan or start planning how to move forward because there is so much confusion, and both of you are feeling very ungrounded in this knowledge that's passing between you at the moment, this wisdom. It may not be passing literally in the 3D realm, but energetically speaking, there have been tremendous shifts. And whilst this divine feminine has had some major epiphanies and aha moments about herself and who she is and the power that she can embody, she's very much doubting that this guy that she's dealing with, this divine masculine, is at anything like even close to divine. She's seeing him with the rose-tinted spectacles off. And it's very unsettling for him. It's very unsettling for her. And we see this as well in the feelings. You know, we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So in many respects, you know, releasing herself from this desire to be partnered, from this desire to be in a couple with this person, she feels like she's opened herself up to a real happy ever after. The 10 of Wands, so that's what the 10 of Cups shows us, but the 10 of Wands shows us that she's also feels relieved of some kind of burden. Letting go of that expectation actually feels good. But this is a divine feminine that is connected to her divinity. There's no doubt about it. You know, that Athena, that goddess of wisdom, there's some kind of balance and harmony now within her that she didn't have before. You know, this truth awakening that she has had, these realizations have enabled her to boldly move forward and release attachment. And even though that feels scary and uncertain, she's wondering if it means the connection's dead or over. It's just a transitional period, is what I'm hearing. We've got here as well with the divine masculine, again, that wisdom repeating, the Hierophant, number 5, the energy of transformation. The Hierophant, of course, is the card of higher learning as well, spiritual learning. You know, he's often represented as the priest, but, you know, he is a man of the cloth. He is someone that speaks God's words, that teaches God's words. And so this is a really important card to come up in terms of how he's thinking and feeling. You know, he really does recognize now that this is a divine connection. He's worked out that this is weird and wonderful and not like any other relationship he's had. And this is very much on his mind. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse as well shows us that he now wants to release karma. He's recognizing how he's been blocking himself. He's recognizing the obstacles that are self-created. And again, remember, we've got that power of manifestation in the number 3. That is the transformation that's taking place here. It's transformation that was born of desire and will. And it feels like that's the energy he's in. He's wanting to move forward. He's wanting to let go. He's recognizing his lack of reciprocity. He's recognizing how much effort he hasn't made, and he wants to put that straight. He's learning, but these are transitional energies. He's not doing these things yet. He's recognizing the need to do them. And with the High Priestess here, you know, it feels like, as a connecting energy, both of them right now, it's so interesting. It definitely is the energies of reverse, because what the divine feminine is bringing to the table is the repellent energy, and the masculine is now actually in that chaser energy. It's like the tables have turned. I always talk about the twin flame connection in terms of two magnets, and when you look at two magnets and you flip them the wrong way, you try and bring them together, and they don't quite meet, do they? They kind of bounce away from each other. Whereas when you flip one of them, bang, they come straight together. So what's happened here is that, you know, for time, the divine feminine has been in this chaser energy, which is repellent. Oh, I did that all wrong. You know what I mean? This energy. So neither one of them is able to come together because they're both in the wrong energy. But because the divine feminine has flipped, the masculine is now in that energy of being pulled forward. He's being pulled towards the truth because she's moved away from it. So this has to be brought back into balance. But that energetic, psychic exchange between you is having massive transformative effects on your connection in the 3D right now. What's shifting? Divine feminine, the 9 of cups. I mean, I feel like you're about to hit what I call a back cycle on this journey. And it's almost like, how to explain this? When we move forward on ascension, it's almost like we move forward in circles like this. And that's to say that even though we're moving forward, we're kind of going somewhat back on ourselves, because we have to repeat some of those lessons a few times over before we can cycle forward. Yeah, it's like you're in a different gear. And what's about to happen here with the divine feminine is that gear is about to shift and set her off on a serious back pedal. You know, you're being caught now on that back curve, because we're actually seeing you thrown out of that kind of energy of alignment and emotional balance that you've been working so hard to achieve and have probably not been able to quite grasp and hold on to. And this is going to kind of create more faith, less faith. It's going to create a kind of energy of being even more doubtful of your person and the connection. And what's really interesting here is you've got the King of Pentacles in reverse, but he's got it upright. As I said, the mirrors, that polarity, everything is switching now. You've moved out of indecision. You know, there's no more, maybe we will. Maybe I'll wait, maybe it'll be okay. Now you're kind of in the mindset of, I'm not doing this, and I don't really know if I believe in it anymore. And whilst this is going to be uncomfortable for you, divine feminine, and you know, you've got to learn from this, but if you're going to cycle forward again, because you don't want to get trapped on that back trajectory, it is having the desired impact on your masculine. He's feeling it, but again, things are out of balance. We've got the 10 of Wands here as well, indicating that this is actually a great responsibility. But there are a lot of 10s have come up on your side, divine feminine, including the Wheel of Fortune on the masculine side. And we must remember that 10s are all about completion. They're at the end of the cycle, but they also reduce to 1, which is at the beginning of that cycle, and they hold the energy of the 0, which is everything and nothing all at once. It's infinite potential. So these are very powerful energies. Like, this reading has caught you mid-cycle at a point where everything is about to shift and change. And as I said, it's uncomfortable. It's leaving you both on edge. They're not ideal energies because you're out of alignment and you're shifting more out of alignment. So having an awareness of this is going to help you make sure that you don't fall too far out of alignment, that you actually come back full circle and the energies shift back again. Because, you know, you want to have that forward momentum. You want to keep going and not keep going around in that circle, because that's what tends to happen. This is the push-pull energy that exists in most twin flame connections, and that runner-chaser dynamic is just energetic. It's when one person pulls back, the other is pulled forward. But it wasn't intentional in your case. So it's not like you're trying to be coercive or manipulative. It's just the way it is. But you're being asked to pause and pay attention at this moment before you move forward again, so that you don't have to come back to this and have this rocking back and forth, which serves neither of you and actually keeps you stuck. As I said, it's a big responsibility, but you're almost at completion. If you can nail this part, you're going to be able to move yourself forward in a much more dignified and aligned way, because right now you're on that backwards trajectory, and the suggestion is that it's going to push you quite far out of balance. but it is having the divine effect. Your divine masculine is waking up. So now is the time, you know, to really embody that transformation from the perspective of wisdom and light, and realign with the values of this connection again. Not to stay, you know, in the energy of being pulled, so far pulled back that you end up creating an even bigger imbalance on the opposite polarity, which is what's existed on the other side for so long as well. You know, you're just flipping from one undesired state to another, whereas you can use this as an opportunity to bring it back into the middle. I hope that makes sense. I mean, it does to me, but I've realised I've kind of got into a real channeling flow with that, and I've got to be honest, I don't really know what I'm saying. And I probably won't remember in about 10 minutes from now, but I hope it made sense to you. I'm going to dive straight into the extended while this is flowing really nicely, and we're going to take a deeper look at these energies and get some more guidance for you in terms of how you can move forward and get some more clarity on the thoughts and feelings and intentions of both parties. So if this has resonated for you, you can join me over there. The link is in the description box below and in the comments. And if you don't want to join me over there, thank you so much for joining me anyway. It's been a pleasure to serve you today. Please do hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It really does help my channel to grow, and I appreciate it so much. And if you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon, you will receive some updates from me every time I post, so you can check out my new content. Anyway, thank you so much. See you soon. Bye. Hello, path 3. Okay, so what is happening in your connection path 3? You've chosen the Light Seers Tarot with Appetite. I'm also going to be using the Illest Tarot for the Divine Masculine energies and the Dragon Tarot for the connecting energies. I will use the gender pronouns she for the Divine Feminine and he for the Divine Masculine, but these readings aren't gender specific. It literally could be he, she, whatever works for you. I just use he and she so that you can easily differentiate between the energy on the left and the energy on the right. You may resonate with either or, so if you find that it's the pile on the right resonates with you more, then just take it as it comes. Okay, so I'm going to choose one of these cards first as an overall significator. We'll have the Divine Feminine energies on the left, connecting energies down the middle, Divine Masculine on the right. So for the Divine Feminine, we have miscommunication, number 2. For the Divine Masculine, we have God of Awakening, Romoko, number 8. And for the connecting energies, we have Aries, God of Battle, number 6. Okay. Let's get some cards out for the Divine Feminine. So the Light Seers Tarot is a beautiful deck by Chris Ann. You can now buy it on Amazon, cheap and cheerful. I wasn't lucky enough to get hold of the original creator published edition. She's now been picked up by her house, but the original edition has beautiful green sides and a much sturdier card, but they're still so, so beautiful. Okay, what energy is the Divine Feminine in? 9 of Cups. Page of Swords in reverse. And the Ace of Wands in reverse. How's she thinking and feeling about her counterpart? King of Wands in reverse. That's come up in all of these readings today. The Hangman in reverse. And the 4 of Swords in reverse. Oh, these are very frustrating energies. What's shifting for her? The Knight of Swords in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And the 2 of Swords. Okay. Let's get some cards for our Divine Masculine. This is the Illest Tarot. It features 90s icons, which is very cool. I grew up in the 90s, so I love it. Okay. What energy is the Divine Masculine in? The 9 of Cups. The 10 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Hierophant in reverse. 8 of Wands in reverse. The Emperor. What's shifting for him? Death. The Fool in reverse. And the Moon. Okay, let's get some energies for the connecting. Sorry, cards for the connecting energies even. This is the Dragon Tarot. It's a gift from Mandy. Thank you, Mandy. If you guys would ever like to donate a tarot deck by way of your appreciation for the free content I provide, you can find a link to my Amazon wishlist below. It's not expected, but it's always very much appreciated. I do love receiving new decks, and as you can see, I do use them all. Okay, Ace of Cups in reverse, Seven of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. So pile 3, what is going on in your connection? Well, the God of Battle is the first connecting energy for you to Aries, number 6. Now, number 6 is the number of unconditional love, but it's also the number of conditional love. This came up in pile 1, I'm sure. And, you know, it's the number of the lovers in tarot, also the number of the devil, which is actually 15, but of course reduces to 6. So, you know, the energy here is one of runner, chaser, push, pull, anger, resentment, bitterness. We've definitely got miscommunication from the divine feminine side. And what's really interesting about this is that the masculine has a number 9 above his head in that thought bubble, and the feminine has number 6. Number 6 being the number of love, number 9 being the number of solitude and independence. It's a very self-absorbed energy. This masculine is thinking about himself, and the feminine is thinking about the connection. So massive frustration here, massive conflict, not seeing eye to eye. But what's really powerful is that the masculine, we've got the God of Awakening, number 8. You know, that's a very twin flamey number. So stuff is moving for him. You know, stuff is shifting. But this divine feminine, even though she's kind of, I feel like she's doing something to better herself. This is kind of the energy of maybe therapy, reading self-help books. You know, there's an awareness now of the need for inner reflection and inner empowerment. There's definitely an awareness of it. But there hasn't been any tangible effort, is what I'm feeling. It's like you've got yourself to a good place, a good enough place, to be able to see things more clearly. But this Page of Swords here is reminding us that, you know, you're still very much operating through the layers and filters of your egoic inner child wounds. And I say egoic inner child wounds because it's those wounds that trigger the ego and spur it into action, because those wounds create fear. So they're traveling all the way up to the ego, and then they're coming out in these explosive ways. And your communication, I'm hearing, you think it's from a place of love because that's now what you're trying to feel and believe, but actually it's coming up through all of those layers of pain, and it's still that wounded child that's communicating with this Page of Swords in reverse. These are harsh and cutting words. And the Ace of Wands here indicates that this divine feminine, you know, she's not embracing the spiritual aspects of her journey. She's not really committing to it. She's not really committing to herself and to her own growth. She's still very much focused on this number 6, the bit in the middle, you know, love, union. She just, you know, she wants that. Her masculine is in this number 9 energy, and this is reflected here again in the 9 of Cups, you know, which is the same as hers. That's really powerful, isn't it? Like, you know, she needs to stay in this energy. She gets triggered out of it when she turns her focus back to union and what she longs for. And it's that inner child that's longing for that, and it's that inner child that's communicating. This space is what she needs to be in. This 9 of Cups energy that she needs to hold. But it's holding on to it that's the problem. The masculine, I do feel in this situation as well, may have a third party. We've got the 10 of Pentacles here, which is the family card. And I feel like right now, especially in the current climate, if you're watching this during the pandemic, then it's quite possible that he's holed up with family. And it's that kind of solitude from his work life, that kind of being grounded back into his, I guess, his earthly realm, that's allowed him to start seeing things from a different perspective. With the 8 of Pentacles here, I would assume he's not working right now. He's very much rooted in the family unit, and he's doing a lot of reflection and bringing himself to emotional balance. So it does feel like there's a lot of bitterness here though, you know, certainly from the divine feminine, but both of you trying to embody, you know, this 10 of Cups energy, which is, you know, fulfillment, and it's union as well. But the divine masculine being more squarely focused on himself and just not seeing any opportunity or potential to progress to that. But the divine feminine really isn't understanding what this journey is about. There's a distinct lack of self-love here with the Ace of Cups in reverse for both parties. Neither one of them, that they're learning this, they're learning the art of self-fulfillment, but no one's really committed to that. I feel like the masculine is suddenly waking up to what this connection is from a spiritual perspective though. He's starting to be aware that there's something weird going on here. And the divine feminine knows what's going on, but neither is she fully partaking in the journey. She's not, getting her hands dirty and really starting to dig deep and discover her own divinity and the power of who she is. So this is really a call to action for you from spirit, for both of you, because to me it looks like your masculine has the capacity to move forward very quickly. As I said, he's definitely having some kind of awakening. He's in a fairly good place right now. He's not in a state of union with self or self-love. He's not embodied all of that powerful energy. And there's definitely some conflict between you. But I think both of you are aware that if you didn't care, you wouldn't be pissed off. And that's where his line of thought is especially. When we look at his feelings here, it's about control. And he's smart enough to ask himself, why do I need to be in control with this? Why do I even care? Why am I so triggered? There's something going on here because I can never quite let this woman go. It's that kind of energy. But the divine feminine, she's the biggest clue to where she's at with this journey is in terms of how she's feeling about him. She doesn't want to surrender. We've got the Hangman in reverse. We've got the King of Wands in reverse, which is... the King of Wands, when reversed, can be very dignified, ill-dignified and controlling. But it's interesting that in the exact same position, we have the Emperor energy on the divine masculine side. Again, that can be a bit of a megalomaniac, someone that's trying too hard to stay in control. And we've got the Four of Swords. She's trying not to think about it. She's trying to detach herself from the whole concept of spiritual connection is what I'm feeling. She's just feeling so, she's never fully embraced it anyway. I feel like there was a lot of harsh judgment towards herself. She didn't like being on this journey. It was still the most ridiculous thing that you've ever heard. And you don't like the label. You don't like being part of the weird community. You don't like being different. You just want life to go back to normal. You just want to ignore it all. You want to ignore your soul's call. I realise this is coming through really bluntly, but it does feel like you just won't take that leap of faith. You won't embrace yourself. You won't embrace the spiritual nature of the path you're being guided towards, even though it keeps knocking at your door time and time and time again. So I'm hearing that this isn't a new cycle for you. For some of you as well, this isn't going to be a karmic. This isn't going to be a karmic. For some of you, this is going to be that he's forward thinking about family and that this awakening is connected to that. That the time alone, the time without work, this time that he's having now is allowing him to regroup and to reframe his desires. But his feelings, again, they're so similar to the divine feminines. We've got the reluctance for communication here with the Eight of Wands in reverse, that pause or stalemate energy. And with the Hierophant, that stubbornness as far as the spiritual awakening is concerned. Because he is an ego. The Emperor is a very egoic energy. It connects also to the Death card. The death of the ego, which is a progression, of course, of the Force. So he's not there yet. He's not ready to believe in some higher power and to take guidance from some, silly woo-woo spiritual community as he sees it. It feels like they're both kind of in that energy. And the connecting energy here is the Seven of Cups in reverse. Refusing to see the options presented to them. This is about short-sightedness and a closed mind. So definitely these two counterparts are both struggling with the spiritual nature of the journey. Neither one of them feels comfortable with it, or that they're pulled, back and forwards to one another as a result of that connection. They're finding it frustrating and both of them are resisting it. Kind of like two runners, really. In terms of what's shifting, we've got the Knight of Swords. And again, it's in reverse. harking back to this Page of Swords in reverse here, this inner child wounding coming up, and the Wheel of Fortune energy showing us that you're still stuck in that cycle. And the Two of Swords, this is why it's important to look at what's shifting. This is where divination actually helps, because this is the trajectory, and you don't want to be on that trajectory. This is someone that's refusing to see. And in the traditional Two of Swords, the water is behind them and the moon is behind them in the sky. And the fact that they have a blindfold on, here it looks like these crows are kind of deliberately trying to keep it there. But, she's still only fighting a bit of thread and two birds. The true story of the card is that the person is refusing to connect with their emotional or intuitive nature. They're refusing to make a decision. They don't want to see the truth. And it represents indecision, but really it's indecision born of our own self-limiting beliefs. And you are stuck in this karmic cycle. And I'm guessing for you it's to do with your parents, because there is a lot of very significant miscommunication occurring here as a result of those inner child wounds and the karma. So you're going to shift back round again. This is why you needed to see this today, so you can move forward this time. A very similar energy came up in pile 2, but for a different reason. But it was that same energy of, we kind of cycle forward like this. We're moving forward, but we're also going back on ourselves slightly. But you've kind of been like this for a while. You're in the same place and you're not moving. You're not going anywhere. There's minor improvements, but nothing seems to stay stable for you. And it's these old wounds that are coming up, these parent wounds. In terms of what's shifting for the masculine, quite a lot. But again, there's a lot of resistance here with the Fool in reverse. And I'm noticing how it's aligned with this 10 of Pentacles. This is a desire that's manifesting in his mind, but in reality, there's still some resistance to him having that new beginning, but he is transforming and he really is coming to his psychic senses. This is someone that really is opening up to the divine nature of this connection, which, as I said, is ironic, but just as this divine feminine who's never really truly opened up to it, but she certainly researched it, kind of dug into that world whilst she's dipped her toes in, whilst keeping herself, on dry land and trying not to get too involved. And I feel like he's about to do the same. So, divine feminine, you've got a choice, but you're being offered an opportunity to heal yourself and these wounds in a beautiful way. You're just being asked to go within and to connect with your own light. Your masculine is waking up. So this is a very powerful time for you to really acknowledge your own divinity. The connecting energy here is 5 of Wands in reverse, which means no more games. That energy is gone. It's fizzled out. Things are serious now. People need to start making decisions. That's what this energy feels like. There's going to be some kind of conversation soon, is how it feels to me. I hope that was helpful for you, pile 3. I'm going to take this over to the extended. So if this resonated for you, we're going to take a deeper look at what the other party's thinking and feeling, you as well, both parties' intentions, and we're going to get some deeper guidance and pull some charms so we can look at how you can best move forward. So I really hope this was helpful for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find the link to the extended in the comments or the description box. If you don't join me over there, thank you for joining me here anyway. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please hit the like button if you did enjoy the video. It really helps my channel to grow, and I super duper appreciate it. And if you'd like to hit the subscribe button, you can receive updates every time I post. So thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.